of Broken Bow, Fixed Right Auto Body Broken Bow, Grazer's Bar and Grill in Arnold, Trumbull Repair and Towing in Callaway, Callaway District Hospital with the Arnold and Callaway Medical Clinics, Lashley Land and Recreational Brokers, and Trotter Service are our radio sponsors. Now we have a long list of video sponsors, which we want to remind you that if you'd like to watch the start of the race today and all the cars coming through and coming back, you can do that on Sandhills Express on our Facebook page, live video coming your way there, also on YouTube and Twitter. And there's a link on the Sandhills Open Road Challenge page, too, that if you'll click, it'll give you the choices of all three of those. Our sponsors include Anderson Auto Tech, First State Insurance, Mills Hardware, A1 Auto Repair, Lines Appliance, Nebraska State Bank, Trotter Service, BDM Broken Bow, Cobblestone Inn and Suites, Power Solutions, East Broken Bow, Broken Bow Legends Neighborhood Grill, Grazer's Bar and Grill, J.R. Meyer Insurance, the Callaway Market, Agribest Feeds, CarQuest and Broken Bow, Aero Aviation, Rod's Body and Paint, and Muddy Creek Auto, and Myers Construction, all making the video available to you. And there's other sponsors as well that we'll be talking about a little bit later on as well. There's sponsors that help with the program and so forth that's put out every year. Really nice program with all the drivers in it. And of course the SORC people have their own corporate sponsors as well, major sponsors, Larry. So not only do they have great volunteerism, they have great sponsorship for the race today and the next 2 days.
Yeah, and that's really key. And you know, here a little bit ago I was walking through taking some pictures for some Twitter shots and for Facebook, and some of the vehicles, and of course they all have these decals of all the major sponsors of this SORC race, not just of our broadcast, but of the folks that are putting this on. And we're just about ready to get things started, Dave, with the 80-mile-per-hour class. First car is already lined up. We'll kind of keep an eye on the clock a little bit, and I'm kind of at a different angle this year. It's angled a little more towards the vehicles, but the clock looks like it is about to run here, and it'll be Kirk Sharp and Court Grooms in a red 2015 Chevy Corvette, and they are off.
All right, number 7 is on the track. They love the smell of freshly burnt high-octane fuel and rubber in the morning, so they should be as happy as clams right now.
And you know, Dave, when we talk about this 80-mile-per-hour class, they don't mess around. They get them off going about every minute to 30 seconds to a minute in this. John Schmidt is coming up, 1990 Chevy Corvette. It is black. If you're familiar, it's got the skull on the front and the 8-ball on the side.
Yeah, number 8's been around a while, and they love coming here, and they thank everybody for the volunteerism as well.
And his license plate says SORC. Coming up next, Rob Walton along with Alex Varney. It is a 2014 Volkswagen Passat, white in color.
All right, car number 42 out of Overland Park, Kansas. Alex Varney is the navigator, as you mentioned, and they love SORC. It's a great example of how you build something and they will come. They thank everyone who's involved, and this is truly a bucket list item for them that they enjoy every year. In that 2002.
Nice peaceful start for them. 63 is up there. This is Tony Dahlman and Maria Schneider. Blue 1963 Chevy Corvette. I think this one might be a little louder when it takes off.
63 Corvette, as you mentioned, and away they go.
And they laid rubber for about 50 feet. And you know, we have a sheriff's deputy and a trooper up here. And they just get to watch this today.
They enjoy it.
Yeah, they do. Car 164 up to the line. This is David Sanderson and Tim Winker. 2017 Ford Fiesta hatch. It is that magnetic color.
This is their first time out. They're from Glidden, Iowa. And Tim is from Saginaw, Michigan. So they're excited. This is their first run. They have run other rallies. This is their first time here at the Loop de Loop at Halsey and Purdom.
And they are off nice and safe. 258 coming up to the line. This is William Varnum, along with Jane Exler, a gray 2017 Ford Focus.
And that is what's the number again, Larry?
258, Dave.
258. All right. Yes, there's no information on them. They're out of St. Louis, Missouri.
And they are off and running. They're over the hill quickly here. And by the way, you see the 55-mile-per-hour speed limit sign as they go over the hill. They're going much faster than that. 279 now. This is Carly Bates in a white 2019 Chevy Camaro.
Out of Eagle Mountain, Utah. And she has been here before. She was a 2021 rookie.
And just like that, Dave, we have already sent out 7 vehicles out of the 114 that are going to be running. They'll be running up to Purdom and then coming back later on. Car 302, this is Chad Smith and Donna Smith, yellow 2013 Ford Mustang.
They come to us out of Alliance, Nebraska with that 2013 Ford Boss 302. They thank the entire communities who put on Sork. They love it and they enjoy the company.
And here comes car number 308, familiar to us. This is the Tion boys, Matt and Mike. Talked to Matt here just a little bit ago. A black and white 2011 Chevy Camaro. These are the local boys.
They're local. We'll probably have a sandwich with them later. We usually do.
Yeah, I was going to say, usually do. We see them every time. Their mom, Rita's got the Double T just down the road. Just down the street, actually.
Yeah, good hamburgers down there.
313 coming up. This will be James Luby and Carl Luby in a red 1979 Chevy Camaro.
Out of Beaver Crossing, Nebraska. They bring their 79, and they're going to do the shootouts and the entire experience here. They've been to Dallas, Texas, and many other places, but they love the races here.
And they are about ready to take off. And there they go. And here comes our first pickup, Dave. Number 316, Ron Schneider and Mitch Hendricks in a tan 2001 Chevy S10.
And they come out of Lincoln, Nebraska with that S10. Rookie driver, and 15 years ago got involved in racing and haven't looked back. They love this atmosphere.
You know, a lot of these vehicles have personalized plates, but these guys, they've just got them old street plates. They're coming to here ready, just they can drive that on the street or race with it either way. 455, Jessica Morton. Black Rose 2011 Chevy Corvette. This thing is sharp with Team GT on the front.
All the way from Spanish Springs, Nevada. Thanks for coming, Jessica. Don't have any other information than that, but welcome to the races.
And Jessica is off and running. Landon Lohman coming up in car 466. I had a chance to take a look at this one a little earlier. It is a 2012 Chevy Corvette, and it's red.
Lanny is 76 years young and lives in Henderson, Nevada, born in Mississippi, and loves coming to central Nebraska.
And he is on the clock right now. He's another of the Team GT, another one of those Nevada drivers. Catching second gear pretty good over the hill. That'll bring up to the line 363, Mike Rasmussen, along with Sidney Nelson, silver 2016 Volvo S60.
Out of Plattsmouth, Nebraska. They'll be driving the course for the first time together as Mike and Corey's twin daughters, Madison and Sydney, navigated for him in previous years.
And they're moving down the road right now. 485 is up next. This is Debbie and Jared Beam, 2012 Chevy Camaro, gray in color. This is a sharp-looking vehicle.
And 485 out of Topeka, Kansas in that 2012 Chevy Camaro. And they call Sork marriage therapy at 120 miles per hour.
Not a bad idea. That's pretty good. 4 cars are left as they take off. And this is another Lohman. This will be Barry Lohman in a blue 2007 Chevy Corvette.
Well, driver Barry is known as quite the character throughout the world of open road racing. And the big Kentuckian turned Texan can often be found holding court among his peers. So he's going to have a good time.
Another one of those Team GT cars as he is looking at the countdown, and he is ready to go. Yep, gets her in gear. He'll be ready to go. Off to a little bit of a slow start, but I think he'll make up for it on the course. 673 is up next, Dave. This is Jacob Klaus, a gray 2019 Chevy Camaro.
Out of Springfield, Missouri, a rookie driver, extremely excited to participate in the Sandhills Open Road Challenge this year with his father, John.
And this is a sharp-looking vehicle. It's got that darkish gray color. And here's a vehicle that goes back to our day, Dave. A 1968 Chevy Camaro. It's purple. Got some yellow and some orange as well. It's Cy Nightingale and Jay Nightingale.
And Cy is out of Kansas, and he's 42 and doesn't have much racing experience, but he has practice up. He's a rookie driver this year.
And they you know they don't have an air conditioner. They rolled up the window, and the fan is circulating on the passenger side, back and forth from the passenger to the driver. It is really cool to see. It's like if we'd have taken your vehicle today.
Yeah, because the air conditioner's not working in ours, we decided we'd take the little car, even though it'd be cramped. It would be cooler. Those older cars like that, you just got used to it.
And they are off and running. This will be the last car in the 80-mile-per-hour class. It'll be Michael Schultz, along with Garrett Moore, a blue 2003 Ford Mustang.
Another Nebraska car out of Raymond, Nebraska. They had so much fun running Sork. They're back again, and they're ready to go. Can't wait.
And they are up to the line. And they have taken off, and that's going to end the 80-mile-per-hour class. But you know, Dave, we were just talking about the fans in the vehicle. And, you know, we haven't dealt with the heat in recent years like we're going to expect today. The good news is it's not going to hit triple digits, but the bad news is the forecast high for Halsey today is 99.
That's close enough. We won't really be able to tell the difference. Gavin Higgins is in the shade right now looking at his screens that he's got all set up, and he's hoping that the races conclude before the sun gets too far on the other side of the school. But I'm able to look at the video screen from where I'm at inside of the school, and Gavin's pulled some pretty good tricks this year. He got a ladder and got a camera up on the high point there. He's got some great angles. If you're watching, you can see that. If you're not watching, you might want to take a look.
Yeah, reminder, we're broadcasting live on 95.3 KBBN FM in Broken Bow, Nebraska, and also streaming live on 3 different outlets on Sandhills Express, through Twitter, through YouTube, and Facebook, right, Dave?
Yeah, Sandhills Facebook. Also, for folks who are on the go and can't sit and watch, you can just listen to it online at kbbn.com anywhere in the world.
And, you know, one of the things is, too, Dave, is a lot of times these drivers are tuned in to us because we're also talking about what's going on through the race. If something stopped, you know, we hear about it, and we're one of the first ones to put it out there so that they can hear this.
Yep. We don't happen to have a radio this year, but you have access to information out there. We probably should have got a radio earlier. I kind of forgot about that.
No, we had so many things to do. Yeah, that just dawned on me now, too.
So we'll have to acquire one or hope that the guys will pass the information along.
The 85-mile-per-hour class is underway. That's the Rees, Ken and Mike in a blue 2009 Chevy Corvette. They're going to be followed up here by car 314. This will be Scott LaPointe and Kevin Duffy in a green 1964 Chevy Chevelle.
Out of Belle Plaine, Minnesota, in that 64 Chevy. That's one of our older cars, too. And that's one you remember from years before.
And they've got the NASCAR-type netting for their windows on the doors. And car 19 coming up next. This is Clint McKenzie in a green 2007 Dodge Charger.
And let's see here. Car 19, if I can get to the page here, I'm running a little behind, is out of Crete, Nebraska with that 2007.
Was wondering where 22 County was. That is off and running. Nice looking vehicle. Tom Kirk in number 44 along with Brian Kirk, a white 2004 Porsche GT3.
And they come out of Lincoln, Nebraska with that GT3. Retired Chrysler dealer from Lincoln, and his son Brian is the navigator, and they've been working together for the last few years, racing together.
And that's something we've seen in these races, Dave, is a lot of retired folks having some fun.
Yeah, we noticed that, and a lot of former pilots who can't not go fast. They find their outlet in racing, and we've seen a lot of that over the years. We see a lot of folks come up from Texas who have their own races down there, but they'd like to come up here.
About ready to hear car 46, Richard Dayton and Will Hagward, black 1965 Chevy 2.
Out of California in that Chevy sedan.
And the vehicle says George on the back of it.
Okay.
So
meet George. Yeah, he's a 65 Chevy, they say in the book.
2011, John Shuda, a red 2001 Chevy Corvette, car 211. This is a nice-looking vehicle.
And car 211 is queued and ready to go. They're out of Thornton, Colorado in that Z06, Denver, and they've been running this car for 5.5 years.
That'll bring up car number 91. Again, we're in the 85-mile-per-hour class. We have already zoomed through the 80-mile-per-hour class. Zach Rusted and Mike McCullough in a black 2007 Audi RS4.
21st year of participation. They've only missed 1 year. And talked to them yesterday, so listen for the interview. It'll be on the air later on.
And some familiar folks coming up to the start line, Dave. The Pauls. Pred and Slava 2022 Mini Cooper, black in color, brand new vehicle.
It's the 8th time they've been here, but they're bringing this car for the first time. Coming from former Yugoslavia, they prepare races like they did back in the 70s in the old country.
And they're ready to go, and they are off and running. Going to bring up car number 120. This is Scott Mann. He's got a black 2007 Chevy Corvette.
He's out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, car number 120 in that 91. And that's all the information we have. We hope they have a good and safe run.
And this is one of the bigger classes. We've still got about 10 more cars to go after this one. The 80, the 85, and 90s are all pretty popular. And Scott is off and running. That'll bring to the line really nice-looking orange 2015 Chevy Corvette. This is the line box, Daniel and Deborah.
And they're out of New Braunfels, Texas with that 2015 Corvette in car 143.
This has got, it's orange, but it's that Texas burnt orange. I don't know if I want to use the word Texas in that, but burnt orange. Longhorn haters probably wouldn't appreciate that. The Longhorn fans probably love it.
Well, you can't make everybody happy.
I've tried, but it never works.
It does not.
Car number 49. Here's some familiar folks. Laurel Holt along with Nick Holteman. This is a white 2021 Tesla.
Out of Kansas, looking forward to Sork again this year and the Loup every year. They love the people and the beauty of Arnold and the entire area. He was voted into one of the automotive industry's Hall of Fames, and so he has been smitten with cars in the industry for his whole life.
And, you know, they just took off, and it sounded like a nice little breeze that just blew by. Very, very quiet. Car 311, this is James Lockhart in a black 2016 Chevy Corvette, and it's a convertible.
Well, they'll get some air that way, and off they go.
And, of course, with that convertible, and, of course, these vehicles, they have the roll bar in there a lot of times, and that one very visible. 321 is Jim Miller and Harvey Bennis. He is these guys are driving a red 2005 Viper.
Out of Omaha. And Jim is from North Platte. His navigator is his son, John, out of Omaha. So they're from middle of the state and the east end of the state.
Still got 6 more to go here in the 85-mile-per-hour class. We're waiting on car 411. Nobody up to the line yet. As here we go, car 411. This will be Ethan Boki and Daniel Metzger Jr., a black 1992 Toyota MR2.
And listed as a rookie driver.
Oh, caught the second. Got that little screech. 511, that's the car number. Alan Golden and Mark Golden in a blue 2016 Chevy Corvette.
They come from Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota. Brought that car all the way from Minnesota, 2016 Chevy Camaro.
Minnesota's got some really nice license plates, Dave. Very colorful. Four more cars to go here in the 85-mile-per-hour class. We still got the 90, the 95, 110, and I believe 115. Yeah, 100, 105 still to come. No 115, 110 is the highest class here at the Loop-de-Loop. They do go higher at the Sork race on Saturday. 605, Jack Schmidt and Jake Schmidt. They're off and running in a silver 2004 Cadillac.
Out of Willow Lake, South Dakota.
866 rolling up to the start line. This is anything but a Cadillac. This is Trenton Zesson and Jared Halverson in a silver 1966 Chevy Nova.
And they come out of Malcolm, Nebraska. They've been friends since high school, and they met while doing work co-op for a local machine shop.
And if you ever saw a 1966 Chevy Nova and a 1974 Chevy Nova, you will understand that that vehicle transferred. It transformed to a different vehicle during those years. We're down to 2 left in the 85-mile-per-hour class. 949 Levi Durnell and Michael Durnell in a gray 2019 Chevy Corvette.
Father-son team out of Meade, Nebraska.
That leaves one more Corvette. This is a brand new red 2022 driven by Mike Black, car number 996. 996, Dave.
Mike's out of Garland, Texas, along with Janet in that 2015 Corvette. They've been racing at Sork since 2010.
And this is a nice, sleek-looking vehicle. And they are about ready to roll down the road. I thought they got the green light, but not yet. Waiting on it to count down and take off on this road from Halsey to Purdom. And then once they all get up there, all 114 cars, they will race it back later on this afternoon. Might even be late morning, depending on how fast we move things along.
Could be. The sun is going to get hotter and the track is going to get stickier as the conditions change.
And Dave, that's going to conclude the 85-mile-per-hour class as the 90-mile-per-hour class is getting ready for its turn here in just in a couple of minutes.
All right, they'll give a little gap there. We'll go back to the studio for a 60-second timeout.
The Smoke Shack in Broken Bow is the only place in Custer County with humidors. They also offer a great selection of CBD oils and vape systems. Whether you're here to compete in Sork or watch, the Smoke Shack offers a convenient drive-through perfect for everything from pickups to supercars. They're happy to support the awesome Sandhills racing action at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge, celebrating over 20 years of high horsepower fun. See them on East Highway 2 in Broken Bow at the Smoke Shack.
The independent agents at First State Insurance of Arnold can offer you choices that save you money. Becky or Pat would love for you to call 848-2522 to set up an appointment with First State Insurance for a free quote and review. They are proud to support the Sandhills Open Road Challenge. They hope you enjoy the action again this year, the 11th through the 13th. Check out the race and event schedule at sorcrace.com. First State Insurance of Arnold, proud SORC supporters.
Back live here at Halsey, Nebraska. Right now it's very comfortable in the shade, probably a little warm out there in the sunshine, but it's going to get hotter. Here's Larry Cotner.
All right, we're ready to go with the 90-mile-per-hour class. The cone has been pulled back. First one up is 376. This is Steve Tasca in a silver 2009 Chevy ZR1.
Out of North Las Vegas, Nevada, in that 2015, a retired pilot, United States Air Force pilot, and also flew helicopters to fighters as well.
And he's making some noise here in Thomas County. 399 up to the line. Saw this vehicle earlier today in Broken Bow. Clay Hansen and Eric Peterson, yellow 2010 Dodge Challenger.
Out of Claysville, Utah, in that Challenger. They have been working together to get ready to come here. They enjoy it and looking for a safe ride across.
Up next in the 90-mile-per-hour class will be Eric Schmidt. Eric's driving car number 11, which is a red 1989 Chevy Corvette, and it's percolating right now, Dave. So I'm going to guess it's going to make some noise on its departure.
Well, when you see the guys out there holding their hands over their ears, that's a good indication. Eric Schmidt is out of Lincoln. This is his 21st year of racing.
Don't you love those sound effects when they're natural like that?
That's beautiful sound. The shift was clean. And you folks watching the video, you see how fast they go up over the hill. They disappear pretty quickly.
Car 26 up next, Daniel Whipple, blue 2014 Nissan GTR.
And Daniel is out of Littleton, Colorado.
And if you're watching on the live video stream, boy, this is a sleek vehicle here. Car 40, Darren Brewer and Sean Robinson, a blue 2017 Lamborghini.
Oh, boy. Can't beat that look. And Darren is a native of Nebraska. He and his wife keep busy with 4 children. He enjoys hunting, fishing, and motorsports.
Here in the 90-mile-per-hour class, coming up next are the Powells, Denny and Connie in car 48. This is a silver 2019 Chevy Corvette.
Out of Wichita, Kansas, they say, here we go again, like kids waiting for Christmas morning. And today is Christmas for the Powells, Larry.
Yeah, nothing like a Christmas with 99-degree forecasted temperatures, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, once they got it, they got it. They got it going there. Car number 94, Zeke Peterson and Ryan Conover. This is a great 2009 Chevy Corvette.
And they come out of Brule, Nebraska. Zeke's been here 14th year here, and he always enjoys coming back to Sork to see old friends, meet new ones, and enjoy the communities.
And this is the second of 4 Corvettes in a row. Car 59 about to pull up to the line. This will be Kevin Hanshoe, another familiar name, along with Rick Kane. This is a black 2003 Chevy Corvette.
From Wichita, Kansas, their 4th year at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge. The first year he volunteered, competed for 2 years, and then, couldn't take it anymore. Got a car in the race, and here he is.
And they are about ready to fly on down the road here on this beautiful day. It's going to be a little hot later on today, but it's really a nice morning.
It's beautiful, really, and the wind's not a factor. They should have good conditions out there.
And here's the 4th of the Corvettes in a row. This one's a blue 2000 Chevy Corvette driven by Jack Martin, Scott Patton, car 301. Still yet to come up to the line. I think they're doing some last-second tech look at it.
Scott is out of Hutchinson, Kansas, and been married. Jack Martin, married with 2 sons and 5 grandchildren. Be their 9th year for Sork. The last 8 years have been an absolute blast, according to Jack Martin and Scott Patton in their 1996 Chevy Camaro.
Again, we're in the 90-mile-per-hour class, and we're still waiting on car 301. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay, Gavin has some inside information here. It looks like they may have failed inspection, Larry.
Oh, well, then if you don't pass inspection, you don't get to fly down the road. So they'll probably have to do a little work of getting the order corrected. You know, one of the things we talked about the heat this weekend, Dave. A reminder to the folks that are going to go to the shootout tomorrow and to the go sit out and watch the race on Saturday, the Sandhills Open Road Challenge. When you go out there, the course closes, and you're there. So you better be prepared for the heat. You know, you better have your beverages, and you better have your sunscreen because you're going to be there all day. So be prepared this weekend for the heat.
Yeah, be sure and take everything you need.
Here is a Kansas City Chiefs car, a car 68, Linda Kruger and Rick Kruger, a red 2017 Ford Mustang.
All right, this will be their 15th year participating in Sork. They're out of Lyons, Kansas.
Car 969, Dan Rohrbach and Sequoia Rohrbach. Coming up in a white 1995 GMC Sierra.
Now the 6th year at Sork, 5th year driving. Got to do some navigation for 1 year. Out of Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Good to have those folks here. And really, South Dakota not that far away for the Sork race.
Not as far as some of them travel, that's for sure.
Did not expect that pickup to catch that second. They did. 283, Darcy Laws and Andrea Laws in a red 2015 Chevy Corvette.
Darcy Laws out of Casper, Wyoming, and retired in 2021, and so now just having fun.
And when I say that's red, it's kind of a maroonish red. That was really a sharp-looking vehicle. 747, William Mishnick and Casey Richards in the vehicle, the black 2007 Porsche Cayman.
All right, and they come out of Omaha, Nebraska, driving that Porsche. Flat 6 is naturally aspirated and sings a song you can hear only from a flat 6 engine, so that's what's under the hood.
With the license plate, USA 927, they are off and running. Car 69, Zach Hagler, along with Wayne Bierman, some local folks. Gray 2019 Dodge Challenger.
Yep, those names are familiar, Arnold names, and they don't have any information on them other than that. This is a rookie driver situation, so good luck, guys.
And, of course, a lot of these cars, and I imagine car 69 included, will be in Arnold tomorrow. After the shootout, they'll have a parade, and they'll also have a car show and a burnout contest.
Yep, and all of that's free for people to come and enjoy.
Car 72 at the line, David Janis, along with Foster Janis, black 2018 Chevy Corvette.
David Janis and his partner out of Kirksville, Missouri in that 2007. They own and operate Victory Metals and Recycling.
And even 500 coming up. Car 500, Logan Huff and John Huff. This is a silver 1970 Plymouth Cuda, and I expect some noise here.
Out of Casper, Wyoming, this is the highlight of their summer. They love it here. Food's great, people are great, and they're just ready to have a good time.
And they're about ready to make some noise for us here on the radio and folks live streaming on video. Keith Bisson and Pat Gorecki in car 83 are next. This is a red 1983 Chevy Camaro.
Yes, talked to those guys yesterday, and their interview will air if it hasn't already. They're out of Iowa, and they're ready to go. They've been watching sort for many years, happened upon this 83 Camaro. No more excuses. They're here on the track.
You did some interviews earlier this week, right, Dave?
Yeah, yesterday at the Tech Check over in Arnold, I got some that I haven't gotten before, some of the guys, so I'm looking forward to meeting some more people in the interviews later on.
Barry Nonkin and Kelly Burke are up next. Car 85, a blue 2020 Chevy Corvette.
Competed in 18 of the past 22 SORC races.
All right, time to put your earplugs in, Dave. Car 65, Nick and Lyle. Yeah, that's just them coming to the line. Blue 1965 Chevy Corvette. This is anything but quiet time coming up next.
Yep, this is the one you can tell who it is, and you don't even have to see them. Lyle and Nick been returning for are returning for their 22nd year. All the races they've attended.
Car 101, I had to wait here a second. I mean, even after they went over the hill, you could still hear them. Bill Harvey and Andrew Harvey in a red 2006 Saturn.
Excited to be back in Arnold again. This is their 7th year. They came here first in 2016 as a spectator and caught the fever.
And they laid some rubber down. There are some marks on that road from that. Car 107, Terry Pollard, along with Gary Halstead. Red 2013 Chevy Corvette.
8th year at the race out of Wichita, Kansas, and something they look forward to every year. To attend an event with such great people is a real joy, and they just love coming here.
And Gary's from Arnold, right?
Yep. So they got a little local flavor there as well on the navigator position.
Here's another familiar name. Car one, oh, wait a minute. This is Terry and Gary coming up in the red 2013 Chevy Corvette. Not sure who I missed there. Oh, I got ahead of myself. That was the case. So now they are up at the line. Terry and Gary are.
Okay.
And Dave also, the cone is out.
Yep, some sort of delay, something out on the track taking place. So, Larry, if you can kind of sniff around there, find something out, we'll take a 60-second break and be right back.
At Reed's Food Center in Arnold, they're proud to have served the Arnold community for over 40 years. They're proud to keep local dollars in Arnold, offer the best selections at low prices, and embody small-town friendliness in everything they do. From catering, custom meat cutting, seasoning, and tying roasts, to carrying your groceries to your car, Reed's Food Center in Arnold, proud sponsors of Sand Hills Open Road Challenge Action. Like their Facebook page or visit reedsfoodcenter.com.
BD is proud to offer competitive wages, a team environment, and day one benefits, including health, life, dental, tuition reimbursement, and more, to name just a few. They'd love to have you on their team. A new sign-on bonus is available right now, too. $1,000. After 30 days, you receive $250. After 6 months, you get another $250. And after a year, $500 comes your way. Apply online at bd.com/careers or go and see them the first or third Wednesday each month in Broken Bow during open interviews.
We're live from Halsey, Nebraska, 2022 SORC races. We have a little delay here. Sounds like it's not terrible news, Larry.
No. And as a matter of fact, we're underway again with Terry Pollard and Gary Halstead as they take off here in the 90-mile-per-hour class. They had to hold up for a little bit. Car 969, Dan and Sequoia Rohrback, they pulled over on their own, so possibly a mechanical problem. But again, then you had a vehicle out on the course in a spot maybe where you don't need, and they got them off the course, and it was just a very small delay.
That's the kind we like.
And taking off right now, another familiar name, the Damers, Samer and Debbie, in a white 2018 Chevy Camaro.
Out of Parkville, Missouri.
That'll bring to the line 182. This is Jim Bills and Linda Bills They're driving an orange 2005 Chevy Corvette. Nope, this isn't them. This is Derek Lucan and John Lucan in a blue 2003 Chevy Corvette.
And what's the number? 206. Car 206 on the track.
206, Dave.
All right, thank you.
That'll bring up 86, Daniel Manis and Shane Landis, red 2016 Ford Mustang.
Out of Barrington, Kansas, in that Ford Mustang, driving car number 86. Their longtime friend Shane Landis did a fantastic job as navigator and will do it again this year.
Car 212 is set to be next. This is by far the biggest class, the 90-mile-per-hour class. And pretty much each year, Dave, that's the way it works.
Yep, they like this particular slot, and it draws the most cars.
Still waiting on car 212, and that is who's coming up. Greg Erlinson and Kelly Koenig, a white 2016 Ford Mustang.
Out of Rapid City, South Dakota, Greg is a lawyer there, and this is his third year at Sork.
Well, typical lawyer style. He tried to get a little bit of a jump here, got past the line. Had to kind of slow him down and say, wait a minute, you got to start here. And they are about ready to roll down the road. Again, beautiful day. We're starting to get a breeze out here now too, Dave.
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
280 is up next. Car 280, Alan Kortmeyer and Gary Kortmeyer in a blue 2005 Nissan 350Z.
Car 280 out of Seward, Nebraska. Gary's out of Burke, South Dakota. And it says his car's suited for racing, so that's what they do with it. They go all over and have fun with that automobile.
And they are off and running, and we are over halfway through the 90-mile-per-hour class. And to be right honest with you, Dave, I think we're about halfway through the race already. Car 371 is up next. Ballas Mackay and Greg Dolgus in a blue and white 2017 Chevy Corvette.
After running the NORC and SSCC the past few years in Nevada, they decided to come here and take a shot. So this makes them a rookie driver situation, but they do have a lot of experience.
And they are about ready to go. And you said this is a new crew, right?
Yes, they're rookies here this year.
Thinking this was some new names that we had not seen in the past. And now they're getting the countdown. They're ready to go. Kind of getting used to, I think, maybe how things work. And got to remember, for rookie drivers, it's not only the rookie weekend, that's their rookie race for this one.
Yeah, and they've raced other places, but not this track, so it's all new.
383 is up next. Michael Rasmussen along with Madison Nelson. It's a white 1995 BMW.
Out of Plattsmouth, Nebraska, and they have enjoyed being here before, and they have enjoyed the hospitality at Arnold and Halsey.
Car 392, Scott Fry and Forrest Smith, black 2021 Dodge Challenger.
Out of Loveland, Colorado, officially hooked on the culture and racing at Sork in 2016, navigating for the 102 car, and then you know what happened. He got his own car involved.
Of course, that's usually what happens, and yeah, they're off and running. 415 is next. This is the Zimmermans, Tim and Cecilia, in a gray 2014 Dodge Charger.
Out of Sandy, Utah, was shopping and bought the Charger on a whim and decided to put it on the track. And since then has had a whole lot of fun, especially here at Sork.
Nice looking gray vehicle. You mentioned out of Sandy, Utah. They have what they call Layton Car Care Performance out of Layton, Utah on their side. 589, Nick Stewart and Diane Stewart in an orange 2002 Chevy Camaro. And this thing is sharp looking. That's that burnt orange again.
Out of Frisco, Texas, in that 2002 Chevy Camaro. No other information available, but welcome to Central Nebraska, all the way from Frisco, Texas.
So I'm going to guess this one is a Texas burnt orange. It's the Scorpion. That's what it says on the side. 696 is up next. This is Bob Bixler Jr., a yellow 1994 Ford Mustang GT.
Another Lincoln car out of Lincoln, Nebraska, and that's all the information we have on car 696. Good luck, Bob. Safe journeys.
And he's about ready to turn it loose. Again, we're in the 90-mile-per-hour class, and as soon as Bob takes off, we want to remind folks that what that means is these folks are trying to average a 90-mile-per-hour speed on the course, up and back, and that includes the straightaways at a higher speed. They're teched to a certain speed, and then, of course, lower speeds for the curves. And if you've ever driven this road, you want to slow down a little bit for the curves.
In an interview that you'll hear later that I had yesterday, I talked with Sid Stewart, who has done real well here at the Loop-de-Loop. And he says really the key is just go into those corners slow and come out pretty fast and be very, very common sense. And you might get lucky and win, and you'll stay on the road.
707, Ken Hodges and Les Peterson are up. Red 2007 Chevy Corvette.
Out of Julesburg, Colorado is Ken. Les is out of Ovid, Colorado. This is their 16th year participating.
Really not that far a drive for those guys.
Just went through Ovid here the other day. Yep.
Car 712 is up. This is Sid Stewart along with Steve Swisher in a white 2011 Ford Mustang.
And that Sid is just who I was talking about, and he's had good luck here at the Loop-de-Loop. He's out of McCook, Nebraska, and they look forward to Sork, and the Loop-de-Loop seems to get better every year, and they love coming here.
Got that GT 350 is off and running. 717 is next. This is Matt and Kelly Hazenauer. They're driving a silver 2005 Mercedes SL 600.
And I talked with Matthew yesterday. He was actually planning on bringing a 2001 Ford Mustang, and the transmission went out of it. He couldn't get parts due to COVID. He got the transmission 2 days ago, so he brought his son's car, and he says he has to really be careful. He doesn't want to damage his son's car.
Not sure, but they're kind of a very slow start going over the hill. And matter of fact, they didn't top that 55-mile-per-hour speed limit, so they might hold them a little bit here. Two left in the 90-mile-per-hour class. Car 816, Claire and Matthew Kurz in a red 2016 Chevy Corvette 816.
Palmer, Nebraska is their home, and they are looking forward to this entire weekend. Since they received their green card, they are ready to go. Retired farmer from Palmer and married to Deb. They just celebrated their 45th anniversary, and this will be the 6th year participating in Sork.
And they're about ready to take off down the road. I think they're kind of holding them up just a little bit longer after the slow start of the previous vehicle. Got to live the back license plate, Vroom X2. 977, the last car in the 90-mile-per-hour class. Dane Troe and Guy Troe in a white 1994 Chevy Corvette.
Out of also Kansas, and they enjoy racing. Most of the racing they do is the clock, whether it be the SCC style circuits and drag racing, but they love giving this a try, so good luck.
And Dave, I think we're going to go back. One more car here in the 90-mile-per-hour class. They weren't in line earlier. It's car 301 we talked about. This is Jack Martin and Scott Patton in a blue 2000 Chevy Corvette.
And they're out of Hutchinson, Kansas, and I think they had some inspection problems, got those solved.
And they have taken off. So we're getting ready now for the 95-mile-per-hour class. And so we'll have a wait for about a minute and a half.
All right, let's take a minute break. Back to the studios for these fine words from fine businesses.
Mills Hardware in Arnold. When you're looking for powerful and reliable Milwaukee tools and toolboxes, they're the place to go. They have a 200-foot long display full of Milwaukee selections. If you need a good place to store your tools, their 56 and 46-inch tool chests by Milwaukee are a great solution. Proud to support the Sandhills Open Road Challenge in year number 22. Mills Hardware in Arnold, open 8 to 6, Monday to Saturday.
Napa know-how.
Racers know that performance cars take a lot of TLC. To run efficiently, they need clean oil maintained by a quality filter. That's why so many drivers trust Napa Gold filters. You may not drive a Corvette at speeds averaging 120 miles an hour, but your family truckster needs that same care to get your kids to school. Lucky for you, WinQuest is having their fall filter sale, September 6th through the 17th. Whether you drive a Corvette or a Camry, we've got you covered. Here's to a safe and successful soar from WinQuest Incorporated, East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
Car 25 already on the track, Larry.
Yep. Leroy Uhrig and Shanda Grosset in a white and blue 2008 Ford Mustang at the line, and now just taking off in the 95-mile-per-hour class. Car 462, Jason Rader and Kate Rader in an orange 2012 Ford Mustang. So that'll bring up car 71. They didn't have much of a turnaround here, kind of caught us by surprise. Charlie Friend at the line right now in a silver 2013 Caddy CTSV.
Charlie Friend comes out of Nevada and brings that Cadillac. Charlie retired from the Air Force as a fighter pilot back in 1980 and has gotten into racing since that time.
Time to howl now because we've got Joe Wolf, car 133, coming up along with Liz Franzen in a black 2016 Chevy Corvette.
Car 133 out of Pierce, South Dakota. And that's all the information we have on car number 133. Good luck to Joe and Liz.
And we've still got yet the (110), 105, and 100-mile-per-hour classes still to go, but we are easily 3/4 of the way through this race. At least the first half of this, on the way to Purdom from Halsey. Car 186, Brent Culp, Heidi Culp, Burgundy 2001 Chevy Corvette.
And the Culps are out of Arnold.
That one was percolating a little bit. 2004 Jason Hornaday, Todd Vance, black 2022 Caddy CT5.
They've been best friends for over 20 years, and they bring the car from Grand Island, Nebraska.
And this is one you just would easily see out on the street. And they are off and running. This will bring up car 221, beautiful yellow 2016 Chevy Corvette. It's the Hills, Jay and Kathy.
Out of Thornton, Colorado, actually Denver, and they've owned the car for 5.5 years. This is their third year to experience the road challenge.
And if you've ever been out in that area, anything that's called a suburb is basically Denver.
Yeah.
4 cars left in the 95-mile-per-hour class. 285 Tom Sorrells, Jeremy Riley, red and black 2010 Dodge Viper. Tom, very familiar name here.
Yeah, we've read that one for a while. Odessa, Texas is their home. Excited to return to the Loup de Loup. This will be their 9th year to participate in the event here, and they say it's by far the best, most challenging race event on the circuit.
We've been moving right along here as car 690 comes up to the line. Bob Brownell and Sean Fletcher. This is a gray 1966 Chevy Corvair. I think this is the vehicle that passed us on. Yep, it is, because I look at that Wyoming 5-county plate. They're the ones that passed us on the way up here today.
They did, out of Laramie, Wyoming, their second time running in the open road race, and hopefully looking for results this year, improving from last.
923 is the next car. This is R. Michael Gross and Jim Imbrock in a black 2006 Ford Mustang. Still waiting for it to come up to the line here.
Out of Omaha. They're looking forward to their second year of participation. They've competed in all of the road events and moved up the learning curve for this year. Looking forward to improving as well.
And after these last two cars, we'll be jumping in classes all the way up to the 110, so we will have a little bit of a break because of the differences in speeds. And the Mustang is getting ready to go at the line, and the countdown headed. Car 923, Gross and Imbrock, they're off. And another familiar name to finish off this 95-mile-per-hour class will be car 23. This will be Les Steinoff in the red 2011 Chevy Corvette.
Les brings his car all the way from California, Monterey, California. So happy to be back. This is their 15th year, and they just say they have a special place in their hearts for this area and this community, and send out a big thank you.
And they're just waiting for their countdown to go. Sitting in what I always consider just really a beautiful place to start. You know, it's just right here on the road, just off of Highway 2. And then you've got trees lined on both sides of the road, and then you're out into the sandhills.
Yeah, and hopefully some of these folks that come will get out to the beautiful Halsey Forest, largest man-made forest in, I think, the world. And it's quite a sight, and I hope maybe they can take time to enjoy that. Of course, the community of Halsey also has dinner for the drivers at the community hall as well when the races conclude. And so they get hospitality Sandhill style here.
Les is safely off and running. So, Dave, we've got a break. This one will be a little bit longer break as we'll jump in classes from 95 to 110 miles per hour.
All right, we'll take a 60-second break. We'll be right back.
When your car needs fixed, getting it running right is all you should have to worry about. The last thing you need is wondering if the shop you're taking it to is honest and trustworthy. You won't worry about that at all with A1 Auto Repair in Arnold. They offer a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on non-wear items to give you peace of mind. Ask for a complimentary digital inspection to save headaches down the road. They invite you to the action and fun of the Sandhills Open Road Challenge. Proud to sponsor coverage, A1 Auto Repair in Arnold.
For delicious food right out of the kitchen and fun conversation that makes the experience even better, head to Main Street in Callaway to Shotgun Annie's Saloon and Grill. Bring a few bucks and try your hand at Keno while you're there. You might walk away richer than you came in. Closed just Monday and Tuesday, offering their Mexican menu every day now. Shotgun Annie's is proud to support the Sandhills Open Road Challenge. They welcome racers and spectators alike to the Sandhills.
Back live here at Halsey, Nebraska, the Sork Races 2022. Larry Cotner and Dave Burney with you. And we had the grid from last year, Larry, which was kind of interesting because we've seen some of these drivers come through that were successful last year. And some of them, of course, aren't in the same bracket of speed anymore because they like to move up as they get experience. And so some of the names that we've called out already, Daniel Manis, I know car 86, you called out, took third last year in the target speed of 110. Jason Walsh was first, and Mark Kapner was second in the 110 last year. In the 105, Tommy Dale Vines and Gary Bates and Jared Helge was on the top three there. First last year in the 100-mile-per-hour category was Chad Christensen and A.J. Ramf and R.T. Green.
I think that signals that we're not too far from starting the 110, Dave.
Well, that's a stock car that started up, folks, if you're listening on the radio, car number 36.
Yep, Jason Walsh and Chris Rutten, yellow 1998 NASCAR.
It's a noisy one as well, isn't it?
I know you're saying something, Dave, but I can't hear you. Did you say something, Dave?
That's all right. That was loud, wasn't it?
Oh, my goodness. Yes, it was. That was right up there with Nick. 811, you're just talking about him, Mark Kapner, along with Scott Kapner in a blue 2019 Chevy Corvette.
All the way from Idaho Falls, Idaho, in that 2019 Corvette. Won the 105 and the 100 in the loop-to-loop, so they like this course.
I went through Idaho Falls about 3 months ago, two and a half months
nice
ago.
Place?
Yeah, not too bad. It's bigger than you expect. It's up there in the kind of the east central part of Idaho, and it's kind of the western gateway out of the Tetons.
Well, they drove a long ways to get here to the Sandhills.
Here comes another couple of familiar names, Ted Hughes and Joe Schoen in car number 12. They're going to be in a blue 2019 Chevy Corvette.
Of course, Joe from the Stapleton area and Ted from the Seward area. And they just say congratulations to Sork on 22 years. They've enjoyed racing the event, and I believe they've made every one of them, so nobody knows more about it than these guys.
I was going to say, I didn't think they'd missed either any of them at all. Maybe I thought maybe one year we said Joe had to miss for some reason, but I'm not sure.
I'm not either, but he's been here from the get-go, from the beginning.
And they're about ready to light it up. We're in the 110-mile-per-hour class. This is the fastest of all the classes at the Loop-to-Loop. We'll have some higher classes on Saturday at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge. Car 27 is next. That's Sean Smetter along with Mike Spencer. They're driving an orange 2019 Chevy ZR1.
Out of Lincoln, Nebraska. And that's all the information we have, but we wish them the best of luck on this curvy road.
And, you know, Dave, we talked about this being the 110-mile-per-hour class, but just like the 95-mile-per-hour class, they're teched up to 130. That means on the straightaways, they can get up to 130 miles per hour.
This road is very narrow, and when you go 130 miles per hour, it probably looks about like a ribbon, a little ribbon that you're going down. But I don't think they can go 130 miles an hour very long on this road.
There's not a lot of straightaways.
No. Lots of curves, and hairpin curves at that.
And they're about ready to take off. Car 77 is next. Dan Axemet and Leah Axemet, some more familiar names. Yellow 2016 Chevy Corvette.
Dan, born and raised in Denver. He owns some car washes there for his income. This is his 19th Sork race. He's had 2 third-place finishes in the 120 division in the Open Road Challenge. He's also raced at the Silver State Classic in the 165-mile-per-hour class. Other hobbies include playing some pool, Texas Hold'em, and cruising in his Harley in the mountains. So he has a good time.
And I like that number, 77. It's just lucky.
Well, he's been skilled and lucky here, and a very nice gentleman, too. I've got to know him a little bit over the years.
And they're on the clock and ready to go. Two more cars to go in the 110 class. Car number 3 is Brian Chandler, and riding with him today is Shane Cool, who's had a lot to do with the SORC over the years. It's a silver 2009 Chevy Corvette.
Yep, out of Scotts Bluff. Brian's out of Scotts Bluff, and Shane, of course, and Arnold, well, he's been there except for when he went to school, so he's been there a long time. And he was the head of the races for many years. Shane led things and stepped back, and now Brock Daly's taken over the controls and doing a good job. We wish these guys the best of luck. This is their 20th race for Brian, and Shane's probably been in the driver's seat, navigator seat now for a couple years anyway.
I'm old enough to remember calling some of Shane's ball games years ago.
Yeah, it seems like we're running into more and more of that, Larry.
Last car in the 110. And David Smith, Joe Bob Atkins, car number 9. white 2017 Chevy Corvette.
Listen for an interview later. We talked to these guys yesterday. This is the Navigator's first time, and he's in a pretty hot car. Dustin Olson Farms Dave Smith Farms, and Mr. Atkins, he talks a lot. So we're going to see if he's talking when he gets to the other end.
You know, I also remember covering Joe Bob in sports. It was scary one year. He was playing golf, and I was out at the country club taking a photo. And around that corner of the golf cart building, I shot it, and I had to duck because it came right over the gutter.
Well, he's going for a ride right now.
And they are off and flying. We won't have much of a break here because it will be a slower class coming up. Matter of fact, they're not even going to put the cone out. This will be the 105-mile-per-hour class. And, again, they are teched up to 130 miles per hour. And, again, familiar names. Jared and Matt Helge in a gray 2009 Chevy Corvette, car 112.
And they bring their 112 out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. And they are excited to be back and see the friends they've made and make some new ones. He's hooked on Sork.
And they're ready to go. Dave, we're almost down to single digits for vehicles left in this first half of this loop-to-loop race.
Get them all the way across, safe and sound, little break, and they'll come back. And it'll be a great day of road racing.
Speaking of familiar names, car 20, Tommy Dale Vines, along with Marcia Graves in a black 2007 Chevy Corvette.
Come all the way from Eagle Butte, South Dakota, counting down the days until Sork comes back. Nothing new on the Corvette. They just want to come and compete again and want to have good, safe runs and get together with all their Sork racers, volunteers, and great people in Halsey and Arnold and Callaway.
And you can tell the car of choice seems to be that Corvette. There's a lot of them in this 105 class.
Well, a lot of these guys can work on their cars. I suppose some of them have limited talents there. But the thing about Corvettes, when you buy one, they're ready to race. They're built. There's a button in these cars, Larry, that you push. You drive around as a regular driver, and then when you get ready to go fast, you push a button and it goes into race mode.
Well, the only non-Chevy in this class is coming up to the line right now. 426. This is Doug and Daniel Jones in a blue 2017 Ford Mustang.
And that's a GT that they've brought all the way from Ipswich, South Dakota. And he is a farmer, runs a small trucking operation, and he brings his wife, Karen. They have a son, daughter, and 2 grandsons. They're looking forward to their 7th year here.
And if you saw the movie a few years ago, Ford versus Ferrari, you understand how Ford and the Mustang really is involved with racing and has been since the 1960s.
Oh, definitely. And there's many conversations yet today between Ford owners and Chevy owners that are debated.
Laying down some sound. Car 47 up here. This is Ray Bernard and Pierce Bernard. They're driving a black 1973 Chevy Camaro.
Z28, back for their 16th year. They make the trek every year back to Arnold to have fun. And they drive all the way from Casper, Wyoming. And by the way, I did visit with Ray Bernard yesterday, so you'll be hearing him on one of our interviews later on. He has some really interesting thoughts about everything that happens here.
And Ray's been here before.
Oh, yeah. He
quite a few times.
Quite a few times. He works on his own car, and he's had this car a long, long time.
And they're about ready to go. The clock is running as they count down 2, 1, and off they should be. .282 coming up to the line. We are down to single digits now. 8 cars left, period. 4 in this class. 282 is Matt Doffer. He is driving a red 2007 Chevy Corvette.
And he brings the 282 all the way from Midland, Texas. And that's all the information we have on Matthew. Welcome, Matthew. Have a safe run across. We get everybody over there, get them regrouped, and they'll have to move the lights from this end to the other end and some of the equipment that they have to time everybody. But it doesn't take an awfully long time. So if we get this first round in clean and get everybody to the other side and line back up again, we'll call them as they come back over the finish line.
Yeah, that really doesn't take very long. I think last year you and I were walking back from the cafe, and we saw one coming in going, oh, we better get back on the air.
Yeah, I don't think we'll go to the cafe this year.
Not in between, at least.
No.
650 is up to the line. This is Jared Roberts. He is in a white 2015 Chevy Corvette.
And he is out of Gretna, Nebraska, a third-generation Nebraskan. This is his 10th Sork. The race is certainly one of the highlights of his year, driving the car and viewing the truly big iron at the event is fantastic, and they think the best people, the best thing about the race is the people.
They got, we always talk about the cars, but there's always some sharp accessories. Gotta love the wheels on this one.
I can see the video from here. They are sharp.
And they're about ready to go, the countdown. And they're off and running here. Kevin Weisbach and Mike Sire in car 787 is next. This is a red, although it's kind of a maroon, 2019 Chevy Corvette.
And car 787 is out of Aberdeen, South Dakota. 2019 Corvette queued and ready to go, and that's all the information we have.
It looks nice and sleek and ready to go. You know, we've seen that a lot of these folks are going with the newer Corvettes, but we see some of the older ones as well. But this one's one of the newer ones in 2019, and they're ready to go. The countdown has begun. The clock is operating, and they're down to 3, 2, 1, and off and running. Last car, well, wait a minute, Dave. This will, evidently that was the last car in the 105 mile per hour class, because pulling up to the line right now is the 100 mile per hour class first car, which is car 187, Dustin Sabatka and Todd Schneider. It's a black 1996 Chevy Camaro Z28.
And we've been mentioning that name for many years during Sork as well. They've been coming to Sork since 2007, and they love the people, the atmosphere, and, of course, the racing. Thanks to all who help make this a great event year after year. And Dustin and Todd, good luck to you.
You know what their chance of winning the 100 mile per hour class is, Dave?
1 in 5?
4.
4. Yeah, 1 in 4.
You got to always love those odds.
Wish the lottery was that
only
way.
Only 4 cars in this 100 mile per hour class, I believe. We'll see if maybe 667 might actually jump or move down. We'll wait and see. But up to the line, can't quite see it yet. I've gone back to my sitting position, Dave.
Should be 315.
Yeah, it should be 315, which would be Kevin Miller and Bruce Osborne in a red 2020 Ford Mustang. But I have been surprised a time or two. And that is not what is next.
Okay.
It is 479, unless they're waiting for a car to come up here, because 479's kind of holding back, waiting to see if 315 will move up. But it looks like right now 479 will be the next. So, man, the odds might have just dropped to 1 in 3, Dave.
Well, that's interesting. Jeremy Bolt is in 479, and so he's probably coming up next unless they can squeeze a car.
Well, they've got him listed as John Packett for the driver today for the
Okay.
Loop-to-Loop.
It's like 315 is failed inspection, and I'm not sure whether they're trying to fix things and then pass him, or for the inspection, or exactly what's happening. But it's an inspection problem. Gavin gets all the news out there. I don't know.
Yeah, Gavin was a news gatherer.
That's right. He's got a nose for news.
Just because he retired from it doesn't mean he doesn't have that instinct.
Well, I should take this moment to thank Gavin and congratulate him. He joined our team and went down to the Nebraska Broadcasters Association's awards banquet last night, and he won 3 awards for news stories that he did before he retired from news and went back up to his family ranch. So a good way to kind of conclude his news career. Who knows, he may do some later on, but very proud of Gavin. He did a great job for us, and he's helping us out today with the video. He's very handy with technology. We certainly miss him for that reason and a lot of others, but I think the kids are having fun up on the ranch, and he and his wife are living the ranch life with his family, so we know they're happy. And he's done a great job for us, and he's doing a great job for us today. Grant Winter is working on the other camera. If you're watching, those are the guys that are working the video for us today. And again, congratulations to Gavin, a.k.a. Higgy Baby, for all the work he did for us, and rewarded with 3 awards last night. And they drove down, went to the banquet, and drove all the way back. And I don't know, maybe Gavin slept in his car last night here in Halsey.
And besides Gavin and Grant, Emily is here too.
Yep.
She's doing some driver interviews. I was able to capture a picture of her doing that and put that out on both Twitter and Facebook on my pages earlier today. And of course, Brent's back at the studio, and Brent will be also, along with Jeremy, getting involved as the weekend progresses as well.
Yeah, big day tomorrow, the shootout. And Great Plains Communication, along with the Sork people, have made a fiber connection available out in the middle of nowhere where we could barely get a cell signal to broadcast over the years. Now, as of last year, there was a Great Plains connection there, high-speed connection, and it allows us to bring you video of the shootout and, of course, radio in better quality than we could before. And Clay Moore and the gang have just been great getting us set up for that. They bring in scaffolding and a generator and, combined effort again, making everything happen for us to broadcast and have the video. So tomorrow, I believe Brent will be working with Jeremy with the call on the radio and on the video. And it will be a team effort. The sales team will be there. Christy and Shannon will be running cameras, and as will Grant running a camera tomorrow. So you should get a lot of angles. And Lucas Bell will be putting up his drone to bring us overhead pictures again this year.
So talk about an event that's really progressed as well, Dave, over the years, is the shootout. I remember being out there with you a number of years ago with that one bar cell service. And here comes, by the way, car 315. Good to see they're going to be able to go. Kevin Miller and Bruce Osborne. Red 2020 Ford Mustang. 3 cars left here in the 100-mile-per-hour class and in the first leg of this loop-to-loop.
So they got the inspection passed. They're out of Littleton, Colorado, and they're ready to go. They're probably very relieved to be able to go ahead and run the race. You travel all that way, you sure want to go down and back, so they're going to be able to do that. And the inspection is a very necessary thing. It's all for safety, but they've got things fixed and ready to go.
And so far today, again, we've been very fortunate. Only one car did not finish, but they pulled over on their own accord, and more than likely a mechanical issue.
And you don't want to see anything break, but that's much better than leaving the road and tumbling. So we're very, very happy with things so far, but we know this is an event that can change quickly.
And that red Cobra just took off. So that leaves us just 2. John Packett, 479, the red 2015 Audi R8.
All right, and John, as we mentioned, out of Omaha, Nebraska. Excuse me, Jeremy Bolt out of Omaha and John Packett. This will be their number 15th year, but to believe, they said, I believe 15 years, but to be honest, we've lost track. They've just come here and have fun. And if you get a program, and they're very nice, there's lots of information that we're not reading to you. These programs are very well done, and you can learn a lot about the drivers and why they like to come here and how many years they've been here and who their navigator was last time, and just a lot of information.
It's winding up and ready to go. This Audi's got a different sound.
That's nice. That's a cool car.
And as you expect out of an Audi,
Yep.
a smooth sound.
Yeah.
529, this will be the very last car. Chad Christensen and Aaron Wells in a blue 2011 Chevy Corvette 529.
Out of Roca, Nebraska. And if you're reading this, then they let them back in for another year. That's pretty good. They look forward to coming to Arnold and Halsey and Purdom over at Callaway and down by Cozad. They love hanging out with their friends that they've made in Sork. And they thank all the volunteers and safety crews and all the folks to put on such a great event.
And they're waiting for their countdown, and it's just about to start as they're down to the final 10 seconds, final 5 seconds, as that countdown goes to the green, and they are off and running. Final car this morning. Chad Christensen and Aaron Wells over the hill and headed towards Purdom. And, of course, after a little bit of a break, they'll get once the vehicles all get up there, they'll get them turned around, lined up again, and send them back our way.
All right. Well, they're going to do that while we kind of get reorganized. I'll be going out by the track second half of our broadcast, and Larry will be inside here running the controls, and we'll kind of do it that way. That's the way we've done it in years past. Now, when they come back through, a lot of the times we just feel like our job here is just to let you know that they are coming across the line safe and sound, and that seems to be what people want to see. And the nice thing is with the video, you'll be able to see them come down the road, and we'll call that for you. You know, the Sork people have all these volunteers, and the sponsors that they have is phenomenal, and they would like to take time to thank the Pinnacle Bank, 444 Racing, DeKalb and Asgrow, Optima Batteries, Hornady, Great Plains Communications, Pioneer, South Loop Seed, Blueprint Engines, and Viaro Wireless for being major sponsors of the event. We wanted to pass that along for you listeners out there to know some of their main sponsors. And then if you get the program out, you'll see, I don't know how many others that are helping as well, that are not the top sponsors, but help sponsor it in other ways. So pass that along to you. We'd also like to thank our sponsors at this time who are sponsoring the radio broadcast. They include Trotter Service, Lashley Land and Recreational Brokers, Callaway District Hospital with the Arnold and Callaway Medical Clinics, Trumbull Repair and Towing, Grazer's Bar and Grill, Fixed Right Auto Body, BD and Broken Bow, Shotgun Annie's Saloon and Grill, A1 Auto Repair, WinQuest Incorporated, Mills Hardware, Reed's Food Center, First State Insurance, and the Smoke Shack, all making the radio broadcast possible. And again, Gavin Higgins and Grant Winterer running the video cameras. They wouldn't be doing that if it wasn't for these sponsors: Anderson Auto Tech, First State Insurance, Mills Hardware, A1 Auto Repair, Lines Appliance, Nebraska State Bank, Trotter Service, BD and Broken Bow, Cobblestone Inn and Suites, Power Solutions, Broken Bow Legends Neighborhood Grill, Grazer's Bar and Grill, J.R. Meyer Insurance, the Callaway Market, Agra Best Feeds, CarQuest in Broken Bow, Aero Aviation, Rod's Body and Paint, Muddy Creek Auto, and Myers Construction, all helping us with our broadcast, both video and radio. So we'll take a break ourselves. We'll turn it back to the studios for a while. They have some interviews that they can play for you and a little bit of music, and we'll let them know when the cars are going to come back this way, and you folks will want to be sure and listen to the second half. And I've got some information coming in from Gavin. Just okay, very good. The video that you've been watching will not run on the way back. We'll just call them when they come in so that you know that they're safe and sound. And that is the way we're doing that, because these guys are going to be loading up and seeing if they can get down the highway and get back and do some other activities. I suppose Gavin will go up to the other end of the state and get into some cattle activities of some sort. But we do want to thank you folks for sponsoring the video. Tomorrow we'll have video coverage of the shootout, and by the way, we will not have radio coverage of all 3 rounds tomorrow, but we'll have video coverage of all 3 rounds and radio coverage of the second and third rounds of the shootout tomorrow. And then on Saturday we'll have video coverage of, yes, just the start. And then I'll be with my wife at the turnaround point, and we'll have radio coverage of the race back. That's how it's all going to work. We'll send it back to the studio for Larry Cotner. I'm Dave Burney reporting from Halsey, Nebraska.